Okay. All right. So I will share my screen. So first of all, I would like to welcome you guys. It's good to see you. And I hope you all had a great time, great holiday season. So we are going to start with a little music, and then we are going to move from there. All right.
That was cool.
So I'm wishing you all a happy new year. So this is my way to say, happy new year. I know we always have a lot of things, a lot of words. So I'm like a little bit of music. And I wish you the best for this new year 2024. And again, a big thank you for everything that you do for the club and for the Rotary. And welcome to our guest speaker, Melissa Walker. So she will be our guest speaker today. So I think we're gonna give you, as much time as you need, Melissa, today. So it's a luxury. And then we will go through a question and answer if you have any question from Melissa. So I will hand over to Andy to introduce our guest speaker. So Andy, it's all yours.
Okay, thank you, Malona. So our guest speaker this evening's Melissa Walker with the Key Training Center. She's responsible for overall operations of that organization. She's been with them for 20 years or so. I'll just mention one accomplishment as an example of her leadership, and that was obtaining grant funds for the center to construct 8 homes throughout Citrus County for adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities. She's received several awards for her leadership and accomplishments, including she's a Paul Harris Fellow. So we all know what that is. She's a board member of the Citrus County Affordable Housing Authority Committee and the Florida Association of Rehabilitation Facilities. I hope I got that right.
You did.
Melissa, as you may know, Rotary is about doing good. And the reason I thought of your organization and looked you up was all the good that I read about the Key Training Center doing here in Citrus County. So with that, I'll turn it over to you.
Well, perfect. Well, thank you for the opportunity to tell you a little bit about the Key Training Center and what we do. Just so you know, I don't have a cold. I guess it's allergies. And for some reason, I lose my voice early in the morning and I lose my voice early at night. So just bear with me, but I feel fine. It's going to be a little scratchy. thanks again for the opportunity to tell you about the Key Training Center. Basically, we started 58 years ago in 1966. And when the Key Training Center started, we served 7 individuals with adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities. Of course, over the 58 years, we have served thousands of individuals, but on an annual basis, right now, we're about 300 individuals. So persons with intellectual and developmental disabilities are individuals that have an IQ of 70 or below and have significant limitations in 2 or more adaptive skill areas, such as communication, self-care, academic skills, things such as that nature. So what we do is our services are year-round. We provide a day service program. I have 2 campuses, one located in Lecanto, Florida, and I have the other in Inverness. Basically, individuals will attend from 8:30 to 2:30, and they'll do various activities. A lot of them volunteer in the community. We have about 100 of our guys that volunteer in various locations, pretty much nonprofits throughout Citrus County. We also provide learning opportunities for them, whether it's vocational skills, educational skills, sometimes it's just recreational skills, things to keep them active and productive during the day. As part of our day service program, we have a supported employment program where individuals, we help them, first of all, kind of feel what they would like to do. And then we start working with them those skill sets to enable them to meet that goal. We have job coaches currently in Citrus County. I think we have 55 individuals working in the community. It's a great partnership with the businesses. We come in, help the person prepare for the interview, get the job. Our job coaches are there to make sure that there's a training period. We kind of exit out as we can. Sometimes we find out we have to come back in because people have added more duties or activities to their job, and we help refocus and to help them be successful, and also with the business. Now, we not only provide Citrus County, we currently have a group home in Denellen, so that would be Marion County. And we just recently opened supported employment services in Sumter County. On our residential side, we serve 145 individuals through 18 group homes and 4 apartment complexes. Now, the 18 group homes are spread throughout Citrus County. We do have some of our medically fragile homes next to our campus in Lecanto, but everything else is in the community, because a big portion of our funding is from the federal government under the Home and Community Based Waiver, and to be able to receive funds to be able to assist in a residential setting, it has to be part of the community. Our apartments are a little bit different. They are where the individual lives semi-independently. In the group homes, our staff are there 24/7. We have 3 shifts, so there's always someone at the home if someone's sick or something of that nature. But in our apartments, our staff are from 8 in the morning to 8 at night. The role there is to make sure everybody's got up, moving. If they're going to go work, they get to work. If they're going to our day service program, they're going there. Helping them with shopping and cooking, things such as that nature. We have been very blessed to draw down almost a little over $3 million out of Florida Housing to construct homes that are very suitable for our individuals. Their bedrooms with private baths. As we all know, as we get older, because our average age for our resident is 55, and we all like our privacy. So there were many years that there was no funding to be able to build something. So we were so grateful. So I guess it's been almost 10 years now that we've been able to go after Florida housing grants to build. I have one more home that's almost finished. It's out in Citrus Springs, so I've got 6 people that are on our waiting list that will be having a new residence within the next couple of months. The other part that we have is our foundation side. So for us, we're about our annual operating budget is about 13 million. Out of that, 60% comes from government funding, reimbursement for our day services, our residential program. And then 30% comes from our retail outlets. Thank goodness, our long-term executive director that passed away in 2017 had the great vision of our thrift stores. It's a perfect situation where, of course, we can raise money, but then our clients are involved in the process of those. So for us, that's 30% of our budget. That's huge. And then the remaining 10% is from our special events that we do, various donations and bequests, things such as that nature. So on our foundation side, that's what our retail's under. And thank goodness for that. So anytime you're shopping in Citrus County, make sure, actually we have 3 thrift stores in Citrus County. We just opened one a year ago in Wildwood in Sumter County. And then we also about gosh, it was 10 years ago, we opened up an upscale kind of thrift store where it's like gently used name brand clothing, which has been very beneficial to us financially and also for the community. So that's kind of the key. If you were to ask me some of the challenges that we have, about 2 years ago, we were in a direct hiring crisis. And now I know many businesses throughout the state of Florida were in direct hiring crisis. Ours was really, really bad just for us. Because of course, you know, if you're from Tampa, there's some great providers that, you know, like the Key Training Center, you got McDonald Training Center, others. But across the state of Florida, we were hurting. For us at our place, we were down 40 positions at one time. Of course, we survived COVID, never shut down, went after every funding, PPP, CARES Act, whatever what was available to keep us going. So we never shut down any of our residential or ADT program. But then we went through the situation where it was hard to get people to come work for us because of our low minimum wage. So 2 years ago, we did receive an increase. And I'm happy to say now I average maybe 5, 6 open positions, because sometimes, you know, our work's not a good fit for somebody or vice versa. So thank goodness for that. We are working with the legislature this year to advocate another increase, because when they did that wonderful thing 2 years ago, what they did is they put all the money to direct care wages, which that's where it needed to go. But as we know, everything else is increasing, electricity, food. So it's time that that we can start addressing those needs. So can I entertain any questions you might have?
What kind of vocational training and what kind of businesses are your clients placed at?
So the vocational training, you know, we used to do sub-minimum wage contract, but we don't do that anymore. So it's more of the basic skills, like, you know, how do you dress at work, communication at work, things such as that. Now, of course, depending on where they're at or what their goals are, we do math skills. We do, let's see, math skills, addition, computers. We're putting in for the Florida legislature this year. We've never gone for this, but we did this year. We got 2 supporters, a senator and a representative for a special project, and we're asking for 180,000 to make a specialized lab where it will be under our career track, where individuals will be able to start learning with computers and software, and also where it's interactive with them. So we're really excited about that. But as far as businesses, you'll see us in the grocery stores. You'll see us in the fast food. You'll see us in restaurants. You'll see us at cleaning places, laundry folding companies. I know someone just recently started working, I think, with the county with the animal shelter. So, like I said, what we do is, back in the day, it used to be, well, where can we plug them in? Our focus is really to find out what they want to do. What is something that, that they would enjoy, and then trying to start working with those skill sets for them to be able to hopefully secure a job. Now, when I say when individuals get a job, it's typically part-time work. It's not really full-time work, because of course they have to be under a certain amount of money that they can make they can make monthly to be able to keep them, to be able to receive funding to help support the residential, or if they're living at home with their parents, to be able to financially support and not lose that. Did that answer your question?
Yes, yes. And the reason I ask, I do not live on the west coast of Florida. I live in St. Johns County on the East Coast.
Uh-huh.
But I noticed, I've always often wondered, when I go shopping at Publix,
Right.
there are, they just seem to be very generous in terms of hiring part-time developmentally disabled individuals.
Yeah, they're a great partner here in Citrus County also. Another surprising relationship that we have is Wawa. Wawa has actually invested corporation-wise in a department that will come in, work with other staff to welcome people with intellectual developmental disabilities within their business. So that's been great. And the other one is Bell's. Bell's has been wonderful. I think we currently have, it's always like you start with one individual, and if that's successful and it's good for the business and also the individual, typically they will then be more open to hiring other individuals. But yes, Publix is a good one. Winn-Dixie is great. Wawa, and like I said, our new one that has, I think, like I said, it's hired 2 or 3 of our individuals is Bell's.
So you mentioned those employers, Bell's, Wawa, Publix, Winn-Dixie.
Uh-huh.
Do you help with the placement of your trainees in those
Yeah. So
with those companies?
Yeah, so our supported employment program is not like you could walk in and say, "Hey, I want to go work at Wawa." We go through a whole discovery process with them. First, again, to try to see if we can, make it a win-win situation, and then to figure out what skill sets we need to work with them before we even get to the job interview process. The job interview process is kind of like at the long end. Now, once they get to that point and they're successful and they're hired, then we come in. If you were to see us in the beginning of a job employment, our staff is working with them side by side and trying to help them with tasks that they've been hired for. And sometimes we have to break it down into steps. So, the understanding's there on what they need. And our guys are so hardworking and really love being out in the community and being part of their community. And then what happens is, like I was saying before, is the employer is like, oh, they're doing so great, we'll add this task. Well, sometimes that can go south we have to go back in, and say, okay, what is the task? How do we break it down? So that everybody understands, and then do that retraining with them. And then, like I said, our goal is to always back out. But our businesses that we work with know if there's any issues, they can give us a call and we'll go in and address it very quickly.
So I believe you mentioned an annual budget of about 13
13
million.
million.
You
Mhm.
talked about the sources of your income. How many paid employees do you have, and do you have volunteers?
Yes, so we have, I've got my little numbers over here to the right of me or to the left of me. I have 285 staff. So
Wow.
out of that, 40% is our residential program, because like I said, the 18 group homes are pretty much 3 shifts, 24/7. And then on our ADT side, that's about 30%. And then the remaining 30 I got is between our thrift stores, HR, fiscal office, things such as that nature. And then what was the other question you asked? Let's see. So it was
Oh,
of our
volunteer.
staff. Oh, volunteers. Yeah, we do accept volunteers. It's like we go in highs and lows, highs and lows. I have a pretty good volunteer team in our thrift stores. Certain people like certain tasks. We do have individuals that come and they're lunch buddies. So they'll come to our day service program and, have that lunch and interaction. Not many people in our residential program, but yeah, we do have a volunteer program where if someone has an interest, then our volunteer coordinator will meet with them. Again, see what would they like to do. What are some of the strengths that they have. I mean, we have a Zumba volunteer that comes in and does Zumba for us every once a week. And we have a lady that does piano. So she helps us with our, music track. So yeah, we use volunteers in various ways. Um, um, at one time, like I said, we had a lot of volunteers, and like I said, COVID hit. So we're in the stage of rebuilding back to what we had before. But volunteers are very essential.
Wonder how many residential clients do you have, and how many at-home clients are, how many folks are you working with?
Yeah, so we serve 300. Typically, it can range from 320 to, it depends if somebody's moving out of the area. And out of that, 145 live with us. So they live with us, and the rest of those individuals live at home with their parents or guardians. Now, what we're finding, so for us here in Citrus County, our waiting list for residential services typically ranges 13 to 15 people. But what we are experiencing more is crisis situations where parents, as you would want to keep your loved one with you, but then get to a point that they can no longer take care of their individual. And then at that point, we just kind of pray that we have an opening somehow, some way to be able to bring them in. Because especially if they've been with us at our day service program, we know them, and it will be a better living situation for them. Should I get that one right? Yeah. All right. I was gonna say, got that one.
Wow, that's an awesome job. Congratulations. I'm really impressed, and by everything that you are doing. So I understand that you are working, you receive a lot of, donation. Is there anything else, any kind of need you could have, where you feel like the Rotary could support you?
Oh, that you could support us? Would you like, well, believe me, I can always find something we need support with. But I mean, so what are y'all interested in? I mean, would it be a certain project, or are you looking, to sponsor a typical individual or a program? What would be something that y'all would want to do as a group?
I think That's something I would open to the floor, but usually, we have projects. So I'm trying, to really, for me, it's my really first time where I'm discovering what you are doing.
Mhm.
And basically, I'm trying to identify, to which extent, if the club, was willing to do a project or something, would
Okay.
love to identify, your needs so that we can figure out.
Yeah. Yeah, I could think about that. And if you want, I can send it to Andy just to give some ideas. I appreciate that opening and that opportunity. Um, what we're finding is in our residential services, a lot of the parents and guardians have now passed. So, back in the day, a good example is with Thanksgiving. When Thanksgiving was here, back in the day, most of our residents were home. They went home for Thanksgiving with their parents. Well, that's not really available to them. So, for the last 2 years, the first year we did it, we had 77 individuals that we have a beautiful building. It's a gymnasium. It's got a full kitchen in it. And we ended up serving, like I said, almost 80 meals. This year, we served 150 meals
Wow.
for Thanksgiving. I mean, just because, and then we ended up doing something for Christmas because it's the same situation. There's no one to go home with, and we're their family, and we know that. But instead of each group home doing something, we just kind of all got together. So that was kind of unique. I can see more of those things becoming something that we need to do. We're really always trying to anything we do, like our volunteer program that we have where our clients volunteer in the community is so important. I mean, so we're their base, but they need to have that interaction with the community and build those natural relationships and bonds. So, we're always exploring and doing anything we can with that too to build that. But I can come up with, that's why I was trying to get a feel of what you were thinking, but I can give Andy some ideas and, he could share with the group and see if that's something.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah. We're very blessed. Many of the Rotary clubs here in Citrus County do support us. Of course, I'm an honorary member of the Crystal River Rotary Club, so that's kind of my home. But the other ones are great too.
More question for Melissa?
Michelle's just over there smiling. I can see just a little bit of her, and that's about it.
Trying to
When
say
you record it,
comfortably,
it's
but
got this big thing on it, so I can't see everybody.
no, it's awesome job you're doing. I mean, it's not everyone that can do that. I had an uncle that he had a lot of disabilities, and we had to take care of him, and it's not easy. And so I can totally relate to the kind of work that you guys are doing. And so, and as a matter of fact, I was just talking about it yesterday with a friend of mine. How we as a family, we were not really a normal family because we had a person with disability in the home. And so we didn't go to certain places. We couldn't do certain things. The life revolved around that person. And so
Yeah.
some people have the ability to have someone that has a little bit more mobility or ability to do certain things. So it's
Right.
incredible, that kind of work that you do. So I totally get it.
Well, what we find is, for someone like if, your uncle it was living with you and then for them to go somewhere. But what we find over time is it's funny because the parents are like, oh, they're going to be home every weekend. They're going to be home every weekend. And that's in the beginning. But then later on, they have a social calendar. They're going bowling or to the movies or whatever.
That's
So it's
wonderful.
like, I'm sorry, I can't come home this weekend, Mom. I can only see you. So, but that's what we're there for, is to try to, keep them active. But yeah, you're right. That's like with the staffing, it's got to be a good fit.
Yeah.
We spend a lot of time with training, and their rights. you know, making sure they're being treated with kindness, love, dignity, and respect. That's our cornerstones. So we do spend a lot of time on that too. But thank you.
No, wonderful. Thank you.
Are most of,
Melissa,
most of your-
I want to thank you for your presentation today and the work that the Key Training Center does. And Malona, I need to step out for just a minute, but I'll be back. So if you're still here, great. But thank you so much.
No, thank you, Andy. I appreciate the opportunity.
So Dick,
Yeah.
do you have one more question? No. Okay. Any additional question for Melissa? No? All right, so Melissa,
Well, thank you very much. And
Thanks.
I'll get with Andy, and I appreciate the opportunity, guys.
thank you and look forward,
Okay.
to catching up with you.
All right, bye.
All right, yeah, great presentation. So in terms, I would say of our January, so we have January the 23rd, we do have our quarterly meeting. So the S4TL, we have 2 young girls that was sponsored by the club. So they will come and tell us a little bit more about what they did. And then I would say what I really want you guys to start thinking, because we would like to think about what project we would like to do this year. So any idea you have, just feel free, share. We want to make sure that we do something that really you guys really want to do and enjoy. So it could be around education, environment, polio, whatever idea you have, let's just, make it happen. So we have our training, district training on January the 13th. And so I will really work closely with Vince, our foundation chair, so that we can really this year submit a request for district grant, and we need to do something. So I will really rely on you guys to give us any kind of idea you have. Just, shout an email to Alicia, to me, and, the more idea, the best it is, and then we'll pick something out of it. And it's also Vocational Service Month, so we know that our nomination is now open. So at least for our next quarterly meeting, would love, to have, people nominated for their service, above self. So feel free to send the name to Andy or to Secretary Alicia too. And hopefully we will have the pleasure to nominate, a couple of people during our next quarterly meeting. So now open forum, anything you guys want to share with us? Dick, I think you had an idea. I don't know why, but I feel like you wanted to say something.
I mentioned, I'm involved with the post-polio syndrome advocacy group. And one of the things that we've realized around the world is that physical therapy is an area where those folks often haven't ever seen a polio, much less treated one. So they don't recognize what the problems are. So I'm in the process of putting together a 25, 30-minute PowerPoint video, whatever, that we can circulate worldwide to the various training centers, medical schools, etc., that train physical therapists, so that they'll know when they run into one of these 3-4 million polios that are survivors around the world, what they need to do or not do, as it's more importantly. So I just wonder if there's any physical therapists folks in this E-Club.
No, we have a neurosurgeon. I can always ask him. He may have some contact.
Well, it's just that you never know who you're sitting next to and what their experiences are unless you ask.
That's
So,
right. That's right.
so that's what I'm up to with the polio situation.
Okay, so I will reach out to him and ask him, and
Hmm.
then I will let you know.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm working with the folks at the University of Florida Medical School, as well as several others around the nation. So, you know,
That's
more the better.
good job. Yeah, I agree. Okay, I will check this for you. Mhm. Anything else? Any other idea?
No, it's, however, it's wonderful to, I told Alicia, I have a new computer. It's new laptop and it's 15.5 inches and my old one was 14. I'm amazed at how much larger everyone looks.
We gained some weight, after the holidays. In France for the holidays, we eat a lot of foie gras, those kind of stuff. So that's why, that might be the reason why.
And Raymond, I have my laptop connected to a 27-inch screen. So, you'll see me, I'm looking over here
Right.
at the
You really
27,
can't.
not at the laptop, which I'm looking at now. So, and that way you can see all the warts and blemishes.
It does make a difference. All right. Anything else for today? So David, we really wish that you feel better, and so we really keep our finger crossed for you.
I feel fine. It was just symptoms, that showed, but there was no pain.
No pain. Okay. Okay, that's perfect. Awesome. All right. So I would say, usually the January is always kind of short, but I'm glad we were able to regroup. So then we will regroup again in 2 weeks' time, with our S4TL teams. And again, whatever come into your mind, project, please send us, a note. And Dick, I will circle back with you with regard to the physical therapist.
Thank you.
Yeah, and Andy, when you know more about, any kind of project, they have at the Key Training Center, let us know. I really like the idea, of what they are doing for Thanksgiving and for Christmas, because this is really good. I was discussing with Alicia, and we were wondering, okay, we want to do this, but where to go? And she mentioned it. So might be, something that as a club we can discuss and find out if, by the end of 2024, we would like to engage into that. But seems to be a very nice opportunity. So let us know, and we'll evaluate, all the needs, and the club will determine, which direction we want to go. All right, so then I will wish you a nice evening, and we will regroup soon then.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Yeah. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy
Bye.
New
Happy
Year.
New Year.